Hey everybody, welcome back to Mystery Moron Modeling Theater 3000. The wife gave me the hall pass and I'm down in the basement now. On a Saturday! Whoa, that doesn't happen very often. We got the body on the Humvee, on the Hummer, on the high mobility, high HM wheeled, multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. We got the body on. The good thing is that kit, by the way, again, it was a TL-01-based that horrible, ugly Lancer racing body thing. It has all of the body mounting accoutrement in the kit to mount the... There we go. So you got these two little blade doohickeys inside the body. One of those looks a little crooked. And it has the proper body posts in the back and the proper... It's a bar in the front. There's no body posts in the front, because there are no holes, thankfully, in the front of this thing. They did have to put a couple in the back. I guess they couldn't come up with a good way around that, dilemma. But we do, we have a rolling chassis here. And the body, I bought this pre-painted many years ago on eBay. The person did a very decent, basic, paint job. It already comes in green. It almost looks like he could have just flat cleared it. But I think he painted it. With olive drab or something like that. It is a shame we're gonna miss out on some of these decals here, but it's okay. I don't really care about that. However, he painted on these marker lights, he painted on this, he painted on these, because it didn't have accommodations for LEDs. So I was doing some noodling. There's also these little marker lights here. He didn't paint those, he actually missed that. These are supposed to be punted. And he got that. So what we're going to do, we're going to obviously repaint this entire body. No thanks to USA Gundam Store. Sorry, guys. They're a legit business. They did not rip me off. They've never ripped anyone off as far as I can tell, really. But their damn customer service is lacking. I ordered last Sunday. I'm not going to say what I ordered, but because it's... Or did I already say what I was doing? Did I say I was doing hairspray chipping paint on this? I'm doing hairspray chipping effect. But I ordered chipping fluid, some other things on Sunday. Okay? Then yesterday at work I went, hey, where the hell's my order from USA Gundam Store? They're in Florida. I'm in Georgia. It should be here in like 2 or 3 days. They never shipped it. Yeah, this happened once before with a pre-order. Came into stock. They were advertising on Facebook. I was like, I messaged them on Facebook. I say, hey, you've been advertising this in stock for a week. When are you shipping my pre-order? They didn't respond. And then literally hours later, I got a shipping notification. The same damn thing happened on Friday. I went on Facebook because they didn't answer their phones. Went on Facebook, complained, hey, I ordered this last Sunday. Did it even ship? What's going on? And then hours later, shipping notification. I sent them another message, less polite, going, your job is to have product, take my money, and then ship it to me. That third part I shouldn't have to remind you to do. Your job is very simple. Whatever. Enough ranting. So we're gonna fully light this sucker. These are only reflectors, so these do not get lit, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these are just reflectors in real life. What we will do is we will paint them with a Molotov, whatever, chrome pen, or Gundam chrome. We'll paint them with a chrome pen, and then we'll go over them with a clear red or clear orange for the amber for the front. We're going to cut this part of the body out, here and here. We're going to cut these out. We're going to cut those out. We're going to cut these headlights out. I'm probably going to hog this sucker out, I think. And this one too. We're going to do that. And we're going to fill them in with a combination of items. So, numero uno on the list, headlights. This is a clear part set from a F350 high lift. These are the clear parts from an F350 high lift. When I built mine, it came with yellow and clear. I used the yellow on my roll bar lights because yellow is more cooler for running lights. So one of these lenses is not only the same design, but it is damn near the perfect exact size. It's like maybe a millimeter wider. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve these out, hog it out, and in the back we'll push them through from the back out to the front, and we'll have clear headlight lenses there. Okay? And for these little half circle round markers, well, guess what? A piece of clear screw is damn near the identical size as that. So what we'll do is we'll carve these out very carefully. I might not go all the way to the edge, and we'll drill an access hole through, and then we'll take a piece of sprue and we'll sand it flat on the back, and we'll glue her in there. Similar for back here, but I have to make a much shallower piece. But yeah, and then we'll put micro LEDs in from the back, and that'll be that. These are going to be the most difficult. The taillights also are going to be a little tricky. We're going to carve this out, and then we got some, what is this, 030 clear plastic from K&S, and we got this sheet at the Lobby of Hobbies, which, I mean, whatever, they have stuff sometimes. Model kits like 30%, 40% off every now and then. That's a good deal. Get something cool to build real quick. So we're going to fill in those holes with the K&S clear plastic. These things, we've got to figure out how we're carving these out. But very basically, do I have like a something handy? Screwdrivers, hello. There we go. Let's undo one of these. Let's see what we get. Come on. There's a nice slot here anyway to get, oh, okay. So this is a two-piece contraption, and yeah, so the screw has to go through the light, and unfortunately we're gonna have to do some real surgery here, I think, if we want to make these. Oh, there we go. If we want to make these work, it's gonna be a little bit of surgery, because the thing that they screw through is what holds it in to the housing, and we're probably gonna carve most of that away to get this lens in here. But we could just put the lens in, carve it out, and we could just glue these together with Tamiya extra thin, and then just glue it onto the front of the body. And that'll probably be fine. Yeah, that'll be okay. We'll figure it out. I think I should probably put this thing back in here for now. Ah, there we go. Here's my wow stick. Such a silly name. Silly name. But yeah, we'll do that. There we go. That's so much easier. Alright, so there's the plan. We're not doing any painting this episode, but we will be hacking to pieces on this body. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to build our waifu gun. So this is the 1/12 scale Little Armory Tomitech Browning M2 HB. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we got a little string of bullets there. We got the housing for this. Okay, we got some different ammo box and mounting options. There's a barrel. It's got a separate slide molded barrel sleeve. That's pretty sweet. Let's look at that. This is looking like this is gonna be a nice little machine gun. This is looking like I should have bought like 4 or 5 of these things when I had the opportunity. They got much more expensive now. Yeah, look at that. It's got all little holes in it. Slide molded barrel. That's hard to see on camera, but yeah, that barrel's hogged out. That is nice. The ammo holder, yeah, everything's just a little bit bigger than the 16 scale. It's got a nice pintle arm extension there. Looking good. Looking good. This is probably just gonna plop right on there pretty easily. This is great. So we're gonna get this built up and painted first, because I want to see the machine gun on top of this. I want to see a beauty shot before we just do horrible, boring grunt work for the next God knows how many hours. Ah, yeah. So we're gonna get this built up. I hate this type of bag. They're so difficult. They don't cooperate. Little ammo belts. Obviously, we need to paint these up. I mean, they're fine. The detail is really nice on the molding, but they do need some paint. So, okay, let's get this together, and we'll be right back. This little gun is going together fantastically. Look at that. That's a good size. That's 1/12. I know, it's just all shiny black plastic. A lot of individual parts, and the breech opens to load your ammo belts. It's beautiful. And then we have 2 options here. We can either mount it on a tripod as such, or We also build the ammo box, put all the ammo belts in. You're gonna put layers and layers of ammo in the box. That's like super cool and realistic. But here's where we're going. We're doing a vehicle pintle mount. So we're gonna do the pintle mount here, and then we'll add the ammo box and the pintle underneath, and then that, and the ammo belt goes in there, and that is cool. That is so damn cool. All right, so we're gonna get to work on getting that pintle mount down there. But this thing went together super fast so far, and it's like everything fits perfect. This Tomy Tech fits easily as nice as any Tamiya or Bandai stuff I've built to date. This is just lovely. A nice coat of paint. This is gonna look very beautiful. BRB. Oh, whoa. Okay, we've got an M2HB mounted. That piece right there came with the gun as the optional way to mount it. I guess they planned on you putting it on a 1/12 scale vehicle, but it's beautiful. It obviously needs to be painted, but lordy, that is a nice 50 cal. It's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. It's just right. It's just right for like early desert shield type stuff, and we're like, before they realized they needed to put like, you know, bullet shields at the front of it, because like the enemy was shooting at them too. They're like, oh, wait a second, they'll shoot at us? Yes, that's how conflict works. Yeah, they shoot back. But this, we're obviously doing like a fairly early, well, not an early, we're doing a casual Humvee. This will be like a command Humvee, because all the ones after the very early days of Desert Shield, they realized very quickly these were not bulletproof. Not even close. They should have learned their lesson with, the M551 Sheridan being aluminum, and this having a lot of aluminum in it as well. Yeah, they had to add all, the extra glass armor, the applique everywhere. But let's say it's just to cruise around the base for one of the commanding officers, plain as day, that, but maybe he wants to sneak out to Taco Bell at night, so, we're going to throw the Crew Duke on there, the Duke antenna, regular antenna, and, obviously our lighting project is going to be extensive on this body. A lot of body mods going on. The independent, she flexes pretty well. So yeah, that's really nice. I just have this loosely fitted here. Only the gun itself is glued together. None of the other bits are glued together. Look, you feed the ammo belt in, closes up just like the real one. That is cool. The charging handle, the detail is very nice. You'll see more of it once I get this thing primed. So basically, we're gonna take off the ammo thing, take off that, take off this lower mounting area on here on the side, paint up the gun separately from the mount, and we're gonna end up having to glue this little bar. I just used a piece of sprue in the hole on the top of the Humvee, pardon, hiccup, glued a piece of sprue in there. It fits perfect, and this fits perfect on the sprue. It's lovely. It was meant to be. They were destined to come together. They grew up in different worlds, and they met one day in a basement in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was love at first sight, and they were then inseparable. Okay, yeah. Okay, getting a little... no, I have not been reading my wife's smut novels. Actually, my wife... I don't think my wife reads those smut novels. She did in college a little bit. She's not old enough yet. The women, they get a certain age, like your moms. They all had the smut novels. If they didn't, they were either hiding it really well or they were just weird. All of them. Oh, boy. Oh, sorry, romance novels, as they say. Let's get this gun painted up, and we'll be back. Okay, well, our de facto primer of choice, XF69 NATO Black, is on everything here. I also did the antenna, the Duke, and all little bits. I broke it down into sub-assemblies for painting. And then we're going to paint... Obviously, we're painting the Hummer Desert color. It's going to be an interesting paint job, but this is a 50-50 mix of XF69 was NATO Black, XF59 Desert Yellow, and XF57 Buff. 50-50, and this is what we used to paint our M1 Abrams. So it's a very nice shade. Once it's done, it's thanks to Andy's Hobby Headquarters for that paint mix. His videos have been really priceless to me over the years. I learned a lot. he said he's mediocre. That's about my speed. So I learned well from the guy watching his videos. He's a good teacher. But aside from blowing wind up his tuchus, he doesn't need any more of that. Everyone compliments him enough. The gun itself. Now, Tamiya always likes telling you to use gunmetal. They have gunmetal. I don't think it looks like gunmetal. I've seen gunmetal, and that's not what it looks like. Now, Mr. Hobby has a color. Where are you? Why is it? Here we go. Aqueous, so this is their acrylic line, H76 Burnt Iron. This color is tits. It looks so good for metal stuff, especially for machine guns. Burnt Iron from Mr. Hobby. That is what we were going to use. I have some of this left over from my god-awful, torturous build of my Max Factory 1/20th scale Super Strike Valkyrie. Now, when it was done, it looked awesome, and I love that thing. I have that sitting in my office in a place of prestige. But God, that was a horrible thing to build. But we bought a lot of Mr. Hobby paints to do it because they had colors that Tamiya didn't quite have. So we also need some olive drab for the ammo box itself. So ammo box, olive drab, all this stuff, our desert yellow buff mix. The ammo, obviously we got it black. We're going to leave the links black and mask it off and do brass and copper for the rounds, and then burnt iron for the gun. So just a lot of detail painting, constantly dumping out, cleaning the airbrush, switching colors. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, whatever it is. Painting all the little bits all different colors, it really is time consuming with the airbrush because there's a lot of cleaning involved. But either way, we'll get that done and we will be back with a finished M2HB sitting atop, finished as in mostly finished, like not weathered or anything, but sitting atop the Humvee, and it's going to be pretty awesome. BRB. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Another thunderstorm in Georgia, big surprise, but our M2HB is done. The 50 cal is finished. Look at that beauty. Look at her. Glorious. And here's a 16th scale. This is a Tamiya one from my Abrams. I used a trumpeter part from their 16th scale Abrams because it was just so much nicer. But look at the scale difference there between 1/16th and 1/12th. That's what we needed to really have some, what do we call it, just some presence. And look at those rounds. I mean, that ammo box, that's gorgeous. Like, this is, yeah, it's fine. I didn't do the best paint job on that. But whoa, look at that. Nice. And that burnt iron from Mr. Hobby is just so much nicer. It's a smoother, finer grain metallic flake is one way I could describe it than the Tamiya, gunmetal, or their metallic gray. I love this burnt iron from Mr. Hobby. Dark iron from Tamiya is also quite nice, but not quite the same. It's a little more blackish, a little less metallic. This is, I think, a nice middle ground. We're also going to weather this up a bit, obviously. But yeah, let's see what she looks like on the old gal. We got the pintle, or whatever, this doodad. We've got this glued on to the top of our Humvee body. We're going to go ahead and... oh, she is a tight fit. Okay, I'm only going to put it in a little bit. Just the tip. Just so you can see the scale. That's good. That is nice. All right. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I think that's 2 thumbs up. Yeah, she's good. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, there we go. So if you've got one of these 1/12 Humvees, this thing fits perfect. Get one of these. The Little Armory Browning M2HB. It's gorgeous. Oh, I just knocked over a bottle of Mr. Hobby Color Thinner. Oh, luckily it was closed. I seem to knock those bottles over sometimes. It's problematic. Okay, so we still have surgery to do. We painted up our Duke antenna, and you can get an idea. We're gonna probably mount it on the tailgate somewhere around here. That's going to look pretty spiffy. And we got a regular antenna also right here. But, I mean, I could just rest on these laurels. I could just mount the antenna, throw the Duke on, put this thing on, paint the body real quick, do some chipping, and it would be fine. I don't think anyone would really complain. But, I mean, we like working lights. We wanna full option this sucker a little bit. We're not gonna do a sound set. Oh, jeez. No, Ian, stop it. It's supposed to be a quick, easy build. But yeah, look at that. I'm so happy with that 50. Okay, 50 BMGs aside, yeah, that's it for tonight. It's really going crazy up there, so I have to go upstairs, and I have to ceremoniously line up 6 flashlights on the kitchen island, because that wards off the blackout gods. The last time I took out like every flashlight I owned and put them all on the kitchen island and strategically placed them around the house, the power didn't go out. If you don't have the flashlights handy, power goes out. I have 2 flashlights sitting on the side workbench right here, just in case. It's like warding off evil spirits. It's like those the little bag Billy wore in Predator around his neck. You know, and he'd rub it. Okay, you know, the evil spirits. It didn't work for Billy, obviously. The Predator still killed the living hell out of him. Yeah, he was one dead Billy. Keep the flashlights handy, and you don't lose power. It seems. Or I'm just being a superstitious nut job, but with Ezra Miller driving around the country, armed and wearing body armor, apparently, you can't be too careful. So, we'll be back tomorrow morning with more of this build where we start ripping stuff apart. Yeah, we love carnage. Be right back. Okay, we got a good night's sleep, and we are back, and, yeah. Look at that beautiful thing. It's lovely. So what we're going to do is very gingerly remove it. I had to sand down the little peg a little. And if it's perfect, I mean perfect. It's not going to move around when you're driving, etc., etc. We're going to put this to the side for now, because it is time for body mods. So we've got to drill out these headlights. These are a little intimidating feeling. And then we've got these to deal with right here. And then same goes in the back. So I said I was going to use clear sprue to fill this in on this. I think I'm still going that way, but I may actually just directly shove like a 3mm LED in there after I like sand it down to kind of contour it to the same shape. Or not, I don't know. We're going to figure that out when we get to it. But let's start with the very straightforward stuff, so you can watch the carnage of drilling into a perfectly good and rare Tamiya body shell. We got our little handy drill here. All right, little pilot hole there. And that's just going to give us a centering hole for this big scary thing. Your standard titanium nitride coated Harbor Freight step bit drill. And of course we'll use our precision instrument here. It's actually my old drill. My new one's still sitting in my office. I forgot to take it back home after I was done setting the place up. Let's see here. Okay. Here's the scary part. Uh-huh. Hey now. Okay, so we got their centering. Whoop, forward. Do this on low speed on your drill so you don't melt the plastic. You want to drill through it. Okay, well, our hole is a tad off-center. Ugh, throw that in the garbage. All right. I think I can go one more step, and then I'm going to have to do this some handwork here. No, we might be fine. Let's go. It's ever so slightly. Let's go to the next. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I think everyone gets the drift of what's going on here. So this is still a little too big to fit through. So we're going to go ahead and continue drilling. We'll get it fitted and we will be right back. Hey, huddly ho, look at that. Okay. So there's our little lens from our F350 high lift. It's leftovers. And we got the hole drilled out, and it's basically a press fit at that point. Look at that. So there you go. I got to do a little finish sanding on the outside, a little other, you know, just tiny touching up of the hole. But it got really close with the step bit, and then I just broke out the Dremel on low speed with a sanding drum to just, you know, get that hole just big enough. So we're going to go ahead and make our second headlight opening and be back. For the front markers, I just drilled a bunch of holes in it, okay? Just try to get them as close as possible to themselves and the edges, and then, you know, nip out the guts of what's left over between the holes. And now it's time for a whole bunch of hand filing. It's the best option I could come up with. The Dremel can sometimes be a little, it can get away from you. I don't want to use like a burr on the Dremel. I don't want to, you know, and I'm holding up my little hand here, and it's kind of a piece of plastic. I don't want to clamp it in vice grips necessarily, so, yep, okay, we'll be back. Okay, after much, tiny things. After much filing, there we go. We've got our front lens carved out, and then there's our back housing. And when we push them together, that's what you have. See that hole in the back? That was from the peg where the screw would go in to hold it onto the body, and now a 5mm LED fits like a glove. Look at that. So I've got to order up. I don't buy a lot of these 5mm LEDs really. Back in the day I did, like adding to just, you know, back when we were more rudimentary with our RC lighting and model lighting. But I got to order some amber 5mm LEDs. Now, the dilemma is how to fill in this lens. I did buy this sheet of 030 plastic, which is almost, it's pretty close to the same thickness as this. Oh, no, it's half the thickness. There's two sheets in here. I could cut a piece to fit out of this and jam it in here. The other option I wanted to kind of try was, let's say, putting a piece of masking tape over the front of this, that might be, and just using canopy glue, because it dries clear, supposedly. But, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I'm going to give an experiment, actually, with the canopy glue. I'm going to try that, and we'll see how it works. And if it doesn't, we could just, you know, get it out of there. Not a big deal. All right, we'll be back with our experiment. All right, well, I ended up going with the cut a piece of plastic to fit. It still has its protective film on it. Always the text messages when I'm filming. So that has that on there, and then I was just going to hit the back of it with canopy glue to hold it in there. And that should be good. The only problem is, these are a huge pain in the ass to make one at a time. You know, cutting out a little square of the clear plastic and shaping it to fit. It is labor intensive, let's just put it that way. Very labor intensive. The idea of putting a piece of masking tape over the back of it and just pouring in the canopy glue, that could work. Might be easier. I could try it. I'm going to give that a whirl. It might be a while before I'm back. That stuff takes a long time to dry. Okay, be back. Okay, so while our canopy glue drill is drying, I couldn't find my canopy glue. I tucked it away somewhere. But yeah, here we go. Just start drilling the thing out, and then get in there with your nippers and just cut out between the spots you've drilled. This is a little thicker back here. Oh, sorry, we're not in frame. There we go. And then your good friend, the file. And you know, you want a nice flat file, and then you want a file with the curved profile. And you just file away. I don't think I need to teach anyone how to operate a file, but you know, just a whole lot of this. So we've got these two to do, and then I gotta also do this guy up front here, and then we will see how our our experiment with the canopy glue goes. I'm hoping for good results, and if that works out, that'll be very nice. It'll be much easier. I could just put some masking tape behind these holes and just fill them with glue and just like prop this thing up to dry, and we'll have nice clear lenses. Then we can go back and, depending on how clear they are, hit the outside or mostly the inside with you know, clear red and clear orange from Tamiya, and yeah, have a nice effect going there. So be back. Alright, canopy glue takes frickin' forever to dry, especially when you make it deep puddles like this. It's going to take a while for these to dry. This is the end of this part. I'm not watching glue dry for 4 more hours. But what we did do is we carved out our taillight areas there. We're waiting for some light buckets to show up for the back of the headlights and the back of the taillights. I do have light buckets on order. I've also got to order some more LED bulbs to be able to light this thing properly. But, I mean, come on. You know this thing's just bitchin'. I love this. It's so nice. I mean, the ammo belt is, oh, it's just lovely. Very nice. Doesn't have any 50 cal marking decals, and finding those in 1/12 scale, damn near impossible. I guess I could print my own if I was feeling extra ambitious. I'll just put that in there a little bit. That's cool. Okay, so this is the end of part 2. You know, like, we're gonna have all this other fun stuff on here, springy antennas and things. It's not a full option tank, so I've got to keep my expectations in check. But we do have our TA-01 light unit here. Let's see what we got. And I gotta get some more LEDs for this. But we're gonna have a whole bunch of lights that can come off of this thing. It's got 8 ports for JST 2.0 connectors. I have plenty of JST pigtails. Of course, the polarity's backwards from what Tamiya uses. I don't know if Tamiya's backwards or my Amazon Chinesium JST pigtails are backwards. One or the other. They're easy enough to swap around. So I got to get some different colored LEDs. I got to get some orange, and that's about it. Maybe a couple little. Yeah, I have plenty of red. Whatever. So we got to order some LEDs. That'll take a couple days to show up. My light buckets are already inbound from eBay. They should be here in a couple days. Of course, my paint supplies from USA Gundam Store, bless their hearts, as we say in Georgia. They're not here yet. They shipped on Friday. So they should be here by like Wednesday or so. So we'll have everything for next weekend to hopefully mostly finish this thing up. Other than, you know, the paint and weathering and all that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be not as cool as a full option tank, and not as cool as some of the other stuff we're going to build. But I wanted this to kind of be a quick, easy thing to build, and of course I ruined that because I can't do anything the easy way. My easy button is broken permanently. Either way, I'm going to go upstairs and spend some quality time with the pooches, and the wife's bringing home sandwiches from Publix. They make a mean sandwich at Publix. It's not a New York City deli, but for not being in New York City, it's a damn good sandwich. All right, everyone, enjoy your sandwiches. I'll see you next time. Adios.